You can't wait for the fire to burn inside you. You have to fuel it yourself. Every single day, you keep wait for the perfect moment, waiting for the right emotion to heal, waiting for the weather to change, waiting for someone to come and light that fire inside of you. You keep saying, when I feel ready, then I'll stop. Let me tell you something right now. Motivation doesn't come first. You've been waiting for motivation like it's Amazon Prime, like it's gonna show up at your doorstep in 2 days with a bow on top. No, you don't wait for fire. You create it. You wake up every day and you strike that match with intention. You dig deep when nobody else believes in you. When the room is cold, when the dream feels far away, when nothing looks like it's working, that's when the fire has to come from you. Stop looking outside for what you need to find within. You think the greats waited to feel inspired before they acted? You think Kobe woke up every morning excited to train at 4 a.m.? No. He trained because he knew the fire isn't found, the fire is fueled, and he was the one holding the match. The moment you depend on feelings, you've already lost. Feelings are temporary, discipline is daily. Feelings are up and down. Fire is constant if you feed it. Let me be real with you. Some days you're not gonna feel it. You're not gonna feel like showing up. You're not gonna feel like pushing forward. But that's exactly when you must. See, too many people think the successful are built on motivation. Nah, they're built on movement. They're built on those moments when everyone else would have quit. They're built on the mornings when the alarm rang and the bed was warm, but the dream was burning harder. They're built on those nights where they stayed up late, studying, working, grinding, while the world was asleep. Not because they felt like it, but because they decided to. You keep asking, how do I get motivated? That's the wrong question. Ask yourself, how do I stay disciplined when I'm not? Because that's the real battle. Motivation is a spark, but if you don't feed that spark with wood, it dies out fast. You need to stop chasing sparks and start building bonfires. You need routines. You need systems. You need a why that makes your excuses tremble. When you know why you're doing it, you'll do it even when you're tired, even when you're broke, even when you're afraid, even when you're afraid. That's the difference between the average and the elite. They don't wait for motivation. They generate it. And listen, I know life gets hard. I know it gets dark. But even in the darkness, you can strike a flame. Even in the cold, you can create heat. Some of y'all been walking around with wet matches and wondering why nothing's igniting. You're waiting for something external to validate your purpose. You keep scrolling, hoping to find a quote, a speaker to light you up. But the truth is, everything you need is already inside you. It's been there, that dream, that fire, it never left. You just haven't been feeding it. You gotta feed your fire daily. You gotta wake up and remind yourself who you are. You gotta speak life into yourself. Speak power, speak purpose. Wake up and say, I was born for this. I've got what it takes. I'm not waiting for the perfect time, I'm creating the time. I'm not waiting for the feeling, I'm becoming the force. Because fire doesn't respond to feelings, it responds to friction. You gotta put in the work, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Some of you have been told you're not good enough, that your dream is too big, that your time has passed. And you started to believe it. You started to let those cold words freeze your soul. But let me tell you, nothing burns hotter than a soul on a mission. Nothing melts doubt faster than consistent action. You don't need their approval. You don't need their permission. You just need your decision. You just need to say, enough is enough. I'm done waiting. I'm done hesitating. I'm done procrastinating. It's my time now. You want success? Fuel your fire. You want purpose? Fuel your fire. You want change? Fuel your fire. The world doesn't owe you inspiration. You owe the world results. You owe your future self-discipline. You owe the dream that shows you your best effort. Stop looking around. Start looking within. Start building the fire brick by brick, one habit at a time, one choice at a time, one sacrifice at a time. That fire you need, it comes from consistency. Every rep in the gym, every hour studying, every page you read, every time you choose to grind over the excuse, every time you do it scared. That's how fire is made. Not overnight, not in a moment, but in the repetition of responsibility, the repetition of resilience. You're building something eternal. You're creating a flame that will light others one day. But it starts with you. So today, I need you to stop waiting. Stop asking, Stop hoping and start doing. Get up, show up. Do what you said you would do. Be the kind of person your goals require. Not just when it's convenient, not just when it's cute for Instagram, but every day, in the dark, in the quiet, when no one is watching, when no one claps. That's when legends are made. In the shadows, in the silence, in the sacrifice. You've been given a match. Now strike it. Strike it with action. Strike it with focus. Strike it with consistency. And once that fire starts to burn, don't let it go out. Guard it, feed it, grow it. Because once you're lit, once your soul is on fire, no one can put you out. And when they ask you, how did you get here? How did you stay so fired up? You'll look them in the eye and say, I didn't wait for the fire, I became it. You're trying to build a fire, but every time you spark something inside of you, someone else comes around and blows it out. You're trying to rise, but the people around you are pulling you down. Every time you start to believe in yourself, you hear voices telling you to be realistic. That's the problem. You're surrounded by fire extinguishers when you need to be around fire starters. People who don't get your dream can't protect your fire. People who aren't hungry can't feed your vision. You're asking for support from people who've never built anything, who've never dared, who've never risked, who've never been on fire themselves. And that's why you keep losing momentum. You have to understand your environment matters. The people around you are either pouring gasoline or pouring water on your flame. Every conversation, every interaction, every piece of energy is either helping you burn brighter or dimming your light. You can't build greatness in toxic soil. You can't grow with people who are shrinking. If you're serious about your goals, if you're truly committed to becoming everything you said you would be, then you got to do a serious evaluation of the company you keep. Because some of you are burning with potential, but choking in the smoke of other people's negativity. Ask yourself, who do I talk to the most? Who do I let influence me? Who gets to speak into my dream? If the answer isn't people who challenge you, push you, inspire you, then you already know why you're stuck. Too many of you are spending time with people who are comfortable with average and then wondering why excellence feels so far away. You're trying to soar with people who haven't even left the ground. You keep asking for advice from people who've never been where you're going. That's like asking someone who never ran a mile how to finish a marathon. Their words don't match your path. You need fire starters, people who see your flame and help it grow. People who speak life into your dreams, not death. People who believe in you when you forget how to believe in yourself. People who show you what's possible because they're living it, not just talking about it. Fire starters don't tolerate excuses. They don't let you sit in self-pity. They remind you who you are. They light you up when life tries to dim you down. Look, I get it. It's not always easy to walk away from people you've known for years. It's not always comfortable to distance yourself from familiar voices. But comfort is the enemy of fire. Comfort will smother your ambition. You weren't meant to stay in circles that don't feed your fire. You were made to evolve. And sometimes evolution means elevation, and elevation means separation. If they can't grow with you, they can't go with you. That's not hate, that's truth. You gotta protect your fire like it's your life, because in many ways it is. See, the wrong crowd won't just discourage you. They'll normalize mediocrity. They'll laugh at your dreams because they stopped chasing theirs. They'll project their limitations onto you because they never broke through theirs. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing them. You'll start dialing your light down so others can feel comfortable in the dark. That's not humility, that's sabotage. That's self-betrayal. And you can't afford that. Not if you want to win. Not if you want to leave a legacy. The truth is, energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with people who are lazy, you'll start making excuses. If you surround yourself with people who are negative, you'll start doubting yourself. If you surround yourself with people who play small, you'll start shrinking. But if you get around people who grind, who speak vision, who live with fire, you'll start burning too. Their consistency will convict you. Their intensity will inspire you. Their success will stretch your belief. That's what you need. You need proximity to purpose. You need exposure to excellence. You need energy that ignites, not energy that extinguishes. It's time to shift your circle. If you're the smartest, most driven, most ambitious person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. Fire doesn't grow in places where nothing challenges it. You need to be around people who make you uncomfortable with how big they dream, how hard they work, how focused they stay. That discomfort is the friction your fire needs to spread. And let me say this, sometimes the fire starter you need isn't even a person. It's a book, it's a podcast, it's a new environment, it's an event, it's a mentor you've never met in person, but who speaks to your soul. In this digital age, you have no excuse. You can build a virtual circle of fire starters. You can listen to greatness every single day. You can learn from those who've already walked the road you're on. Don't tell me you don't have support. You just haven't searched. You just haven't prioritized it. And until you do, you'll stay stuck in circles that steal your flame. The fire in you is your responsibility. Yes, it's vulnerable. Yes, it's fragile. Yes, it needs protection. But don't make the mistake of keeping it in a place where it's constantly under attack. Be bold enough to step away from anyone who dims your light. Be wise enough to run toward the ones who make it shine brighter. Because here's the truth. Your purpose is too important to be extinguished by the wrong energy. Your dream is too sacred to be surrounded by people who don't believe in it. And your future is too powerful to be trapped in spaces that don't feed your fire. You're not here to live a lukewarm life. You're not here to blend in. You're not here to blend in. You're to burn with passion. You're here to burn with passion. You're here to live with urgency. You're here to light the way for others. But that won't happen if you keep allowing the wrong people to influence your flame. So today, make the decision. Audit your circle. Shift your energy. Move closer to fire starters and become one yourself. Because once you're on fire, you'll be unstoppable. And once you protect your flame, the world won't be able to ignore your light. Everybody has a vision. Everybody talks about what they want one day. They say, one day I'll be successful. One day I'll own a business. One day I'll be debt-free. One day I'll live in purpose. But vision alone isn't enough. Dreams don't come true just because you can see it. You have to grind to get there. You have to work for it like your life depends on it. Because vision without grind is just a fantasy. It's a pretty picture with no foundation. It's a spark with no fuel. And you wonder why you're not where you want to be. It's because you're talking more than you're working. You're dreaming more than you're doing. You're hoping more than you're hustling. You say you got a vision. But are you putting in the reps every single day? Are you showing up when it's hard? Are you consistent when no one's watching? That's where it happens. That's where dreams become reality. Not in the hype, not in the talk, not in the inspiration, but in the grind. In the early mornings when it's still dark. In the late nights when your body's exhausted. In the small choices that no one claps for. That's where greatness lives. That's where transformation begins, because it's easy to dream. It's easy to imagine. But only the committed bring vision to life. Some of you have incredible dreams. You see it so clearly in your head. You can taste it, feel it, visualize it. That's good. That's powerful. But if you don't attach grind to that vision, you're wasting it. That vision will haunt you. It will follow you everywhere. It will sit on your shoulders and whisper, what could have been, what should have been, what you were born to become. If only you had put in the work. Don't let your future become a regret. Don't let your potential rot because you couldn't handle the process. The grind is where champions are born. The grind is where discipline is forged. The grind is where you separate yourself. Everyone's got a dream, but not everyone has a work ethic. Not everyone has the courage to wake up day after day and do what it takes, even when it's boring, even when it's repetitive, even when it feels like nothing's happening. But that's the secret. The consistency, the reps, the boring work, the routine. That's where the magic lives. That's where the gap between where you are and where you want to be begins to close. Don't get caught up in hype. Excitement wears off. Motivation disappears. You need something deeper. You need grind in your DNA. You need a mindset that says, I don't care how I feel. I made a commitment and I'm showing up. A mindset that says, I won't let my emotions dictate my actions. Because if your vision is real, you'll prove it in the dark. You'll prove it when there's no audience, no applause, no recognition, just you and your dream and your effort. You have to earn it. Day by day, hour by hour, choice by choice. You have to sacrifice. You have to cut off distraction. You have to say no to comfort. No to excuses, no to procrastination. Because every yes to your grind is a yes to your future. Every drop of sweat is a seed in the soil of your destiny. Every tough decision, every painful discipline, every lonely moment of focus. That's how you move your vision from imagination to manifestation. Don't fall for the lie that it should be easy. Nothing worth having comes without a cost. You want the dream, you pay for it. You invest in it. You sacrifice for it. You bleed for it. That's how you know it matters. That's how you know it's real. If it's worth it, it won't be cheap. If it's your calling, it will demand your all. And if you're not willing to give your all, stop lying to yourself. Stop saying it's your dream when you're treating it like a hobby. Stop saying it's your calling when you're only showing up when it's convenient. The grind doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't pause for your excuses. The grind moves with or without you. And if you don't move with it, you get left behind. So stop hesitating. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. There is no perfect moment. There's only now. There's only now. There's only this moment, this hour, this decision, this rep. And what you do with it determines everything. You keep saying you want to win, but are you willing to lose sleep? Are you willing to get uncomfortable? Are you willing to fail? Get back up and keep swinging. Because that's the grind. It's not glamorous. It's not fun all the time, but it's necessary. It's the bridge between the dream and the result. You can't cross that bridge unless you're willing to walk every step. So you got a vision. Good, good. Now grind. Now wake up early. Now study longer. Now focus deeper. Cut out the noise. Eliminate the excuses. Get in the zone. Get in the dirt, sweat, cry, struggle, sacrifice, and keep going. Day after day, week after week, month after month. That's how it happens. That's how the vision becomes real, not by wishing, by working. When you finally get there, when you finally touch what you've been dreaming about, people will say you're lucky. They'll say you were born for it. They won't see the years of grind. They won't see the pain, the effort, the sacrifice, but you'll know it wasn't handed to you. You earned every inch of it. You paid for it with blood, sweat, and discipline. And that feeling and that victory is sweeter than any shortcut. So keep grinding, keep moving, keep pushing. Your vision is counting on you. Your future is watching you. Don't let them down. Let the grind be your proof. Let the work speak so loudly that you don't have to. Let your consistency scream louder than your potential. On one day, when the world sees what you built, they'll understand that you didn't just dream it, you grinded for it until it was yours. Discipline is the gasoline to your fire. Without it, you're just a spark waiting to die. You might have the passion, you might have the talent, you might even have the vision. But if you don't have discipline, none of that matters. Because discipline is what keeps you going when the excitement wears off. Discipline is what makes you get up and move when every part of your body is telling you to stay still. Discipline is what carries your dream when motivation leaves you empty. Everybody wants success, but not everybody wants discipline. They want results without the routine. They want rewards without the repetition. But that's not how fire stays lit. That's not how greatness is born. You think fire just burns on its own? You think it stays strong without fuel? It doesn't. Fire consumes what you give it. If you don't give it fuel, it dies. The same goes for your purpose, your goals, your future. You can't feed your fire with occasional effort. You can't fuel it with once-a-week commitment. It needs daily discipline. It needs consistent action. It needs relentless focus. That's what keeps the flame alive. That's what turns your potential to power. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left. Discipline is waking up at 5 in the morning when you feel like sleeping in. Discipline is training when your body is sore. Studying when your friends are out partying. It's writing, building, grinding, creating when no one is clapping, when no one is watching, when no one is posting about it. That's the real work. That's the foundation. That's the gasoline. The truth is you don't get to choose your future. You choose your habits, and your habits shape your future. Your discipline builds your identity every time you choose to show up. You cast a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. You're not just chasing a goal. You're becoming someone. And that someone is forged in the fire of discipline. It's forged in repetition and routine and responsibility. You can't light a fire once and expect it to keep burning. You've got to stoke it, protect it, feed it every single day. That's discipline. Some of you are tired, but it's not because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're not doing the right things consistently. You're burned out from inconsistency. You keep starting and stopping. You give a little effort for a few days, and then you disappear. And then you wonder why nothing changes. It's because inconsistency kills fire. It smothers progress. You need structure. You need rhythm. You need to wake up every day knowing exactly what your responsibilities are, and you need to execute them whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is not about perfection. It's not about being superhuman. It's about being committed. It's about being loyal to the grind. It's about staying locked in on your goals even when the world tries to distract you. And make no mistake, the world will distract you. It will offer you comfort, entertainment, easy ways out. But discipline doesn't flirt with distractions. Discipline stays faithful to the goal. It doesn't cheat on the grind. It doesn't make excuses when things get hard. There's a reason champions are champions. It's not luck. It's not luck. It's not fate. It's discipline. It's the commitment to show up every single day and do what needs to be done. It's the ability to say no to what doesn't serve the vision. It's the strength to get back up after every fall, not because you feel like it, but because you made a decision. Champions don't rely on emotion. They rely on discipline. That's why they succeed. You've got dreams, but have you developed the discipline to support them? You've got goals, but do you have the grit to pursue them every day? Because that's the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's not your background. It's not your background. It's not your resources, your discipline. It's what you do when no one's forcing you. It's how you behave when no one's watching. It's how you handle pressure, fatigue, setbacks. It's how you respond when your plan falls apart. That's discipline. And don't tell me you can't be disciplined. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's a skill. It's a muscle. It's built over time. It's trained in the small moments, in the choice to get up when the alarm rings, in the decision to stick to your schedule, in the habit of doing your work even when you're not inspired. That's how discipline grows. And the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. The more you honor it, the more it honors you. Without discipline, you'll always fall short. You'll keep starting over. You'll keep looking for shortcuts. But with discipline, you become unstoppable. You become dangerous. You become a force because nothing can break someone who refuses to quit. Nothing can stop someone who's willing to do the work no matter what. And that's what you need to become. You need to be relentless. You need to be consistent. You need to be disciplined. So ask yourself, what does your fire need today? What habits are fueling it? What choices are feeding it? And what distractions are trying to put it out? You have to guard your fire. You have to protect it from laziness, from doubt, from negativity, from procrastination. And you do that with discipline. You do that by choosing your priorities over your feeling. You do that by choosing effort over excuses. Every time you choose discipline, you grow. Every time you honor your commitments, you build confidence. Every time you stay the course, you prove to yourself that you're serious, and that proof builds momentum. That momentum builds success. That's how it happens. Not overnight, not with one big move, but with small, consistent, disciplined actions stacked on top of each other every single day. If you want the fire to last, you gotta fuel it right. Passion gets started, but discipline keeps you going. Motivation gets you moving, but discipline keeps you grinding. And at the end of the day, the difference between those who dream and those who achieve is discipline. So build it, practice it, live it, let it carry you through the hard days. Let it hold you together when everything else falls apart. Let it be the gasoline that keeps your fire burning bright. Every fire needs fuel, but every fire also needs a spark to get it going. And that spark comes from within your mind. What you feed your mind determines how bright your fire burns. If you fill your mind with doubt, fear, negativity, and excuses, don't be surprised when the fire flickers and fades. But when you feed your spirit daily, when you fill your thoughts with strength, purpose, gratitude, and belief, that's when you strike the match that sets everything ablaze. Your mindset is the matchstick. Your thoughts are the first domino. What you allow to live in your head becomes the energy that flows through your body. And energy is everything. If your thoughts are weak, your effort will be weak. If your thoughts are focused, your results will be scattered. But when your mind is strong, your fire is undeniable. The problem is, too many people are fueling their spirit once a week and expecting daily results. They listen to a motivational video on Monday and wonder why they feel lost by Wednesday. It doesn't work like that. You don't feed your body once a week. You don't drink water once and expect to stay hydrated forever. Your soul needs nourishment every single day. Your spirit needs fuel every single morning. Before the distractions, before the opinions, before the chaos of life hits you, you've got to anchor yourself in truth. You've got to wake up and speak life into yourself. You've got to look in the mirror and remind yourself who you are, why you started, and what you're capable of. Your internal dialogue is your daily ignition. The words you say to yourself are more powerful than anything anyone else will ever say. If you wake up saying, I'm tired, I can't do this, I'm not enough, no, then that's exactly how your day will go. You will act out what you believe, and your belief comes from what you repeat. So start shifting that language. Start declaring power over your life. Start saying, I was built for this. I've got what it takes. I'm gonna show up no matter how I feel. You don't wait for confidence. You build it by feeding your spirit with intention and discipline. Sometimes you gotta be your own motivation. Sometimes you gotta be your own inspiration. Because let's be real, not everyone is going to believe in your dream. Not everyone is going to clap when you win. Not everyone is going to understand your purpose. But you don't need them to. You just need to believe in yourself enough to move forward. Every day, whether they cheer or not, whether they support you or not, whether they see the vision or not. That kind of belief, that kind of fire only comes when you feed your spirit consistently. You got to protect what you let in. If you're watching things that drain you, listening to voices that confuse you, surrounding yourself with energy that depletes you, your fire won't stand a chance. Your environment matters. Your input shapes your output. That means you need to be intentional with your mornings. Start your day with silence, with gratitude, with reading, with prayer, with affirmations, whatever lifts your spirit and sets your tone. Don't give the world your attention until you've given yourself your alignment. Don't check your phone before you checked in with your soul. Your fire deserves that kind of care. Your future deserves that kind of preparation. And listen, this isn't just about hype. Feeding your spirit is about building your foundation, because storms will come. Setbacks will hit. Life will test you. And when it does, you need something stronger than motivation. You need something rooted, something deep. That's what daily spiritual fuel gives you. It gives you stability when everything around you is shaking. It gives you courage when fear knocks on your door. It gives you focus when distractions try to lead you off track. You can't control the chaos around you, but you can control what's happening within you. That's where your power lies. Too many people are focused on grinding in the physical, but starving in the spiritual. They go to the gym, but never go to their journal. They hustle for hours, but never pause to reflect. They build business, but never build their inner peace. And then they wonder why they're burned out, why they're anxious, why they feel empty even after achieving the goal. It's because the fire outside of you can never make up for a flame that's dying inside. You gotta prioritize your inner world just as much, if not more, than your outer performance. That means feeding your mind with wisdom, feeding your heart with purpose, feeding your soul with stillness, and doing it every single day. Not just when you feel broken, not just when life falls apart, but especially when things are going well. Don't wait until your fire is dying to go looking for fuel. Make it a habit. Make it part of your identity, because who you are in the quiet moments determines who you become in the loud ones. And let me tell you, there will be days when you won't feel like it. Days when feeding your spirit feels like a chore. Days when negativity is louder than your vision. Days when fear feels heavier than your faith. But that's when it matters most. That's when you lean into the discipline. That's when you speak truth louder than the lies. That's when you stay committed, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Every time you choose to feed your spirit, you're choosing to keep your fire alive. Every time you read something that uplifts you, listen to something that stretches you, write something that grounds you, you're building strength from the inside out. And that kind of strength is unshakable. That kind of fire doesn't flicker with the wind. That kind of energy radiates and inspires everyone around you. So no more starving your spirit. No more running on empty. No more trying to light the world on fire when your own soul is running cold. Start with you. Fuel your fire from within. Be intentional about your input. Be disciplined about your focus. And be relentless about your growth. Because the brightest fires, the ones that last, the ones that change the world, they don't just come from passion, they come from the inside. They come from a spirit that's fed, focused, and on fire every single day. When it's all said and done, the fire inside of you will be the thing that sets you apart. Not your talent, not your resources, not your connections. It's that fire, that relentless, unshakable, burning desire to go further when others quit, to keep moving when your legs feel heavy, to believe in your vision when no one else sees it. That's what fuels greatness. Life isn't always gonna hand you matches, and you won't always feel the heat of motivation. But that's the point. You've gotta fuel your fire. You've gotta wake up each day and make a decision to feed that flame with intention, with purpose, with grit. So, you gotta speak life into your goals, move with urgency, and protect your energy like it's sacred. Because it is. Every step forward, every small win, every drop of sweat, it all adds to the flame. And when it's fueled daily with discipline, focus, and belief, it becomes unstoppable. That fire will carry you through rejection, through failure, through pain, and lead you to a place where most people never reach, your full potential. So don't wait for a spark. Be the spark. Don't wait for motivation. Be your own fuel. Because at the end of the day, greatness is not given. It's earned and it's forged in the fire you choose to light and keep burning every single day. When everything around you seems like it's falling apart, when the world is silent and no one is clapping for you, when your friends stop calling, when your family doubts your dream, when your energy is drained and your motivation has disappeared into the shadows, that's when it matters the most. That's the moment where the decision is made. Will you give up or will you dig deep and fuel your fire? Because the truth is, no one is gonna hand you passion. No one's gonna wake you up every morning and tell you to go chase your dream. That's on you. It always has been. You've got to stop waiting for external validation and start realizing that everything you need is already inside you. The fire has always been there. Maybe it's small. Maybe it's been ignored. Maybe life tried to drown it, but it's still there. You just need to breathe on it. You need to protect it. You need to feed it every single day. You don't need perfect conditions to rise. You don't need applause. You don't need someone to believe in you before you believe in yourself. That fire in you is your responsibility. Nobody's coming to ignite it for you. Nobody's coming to relight it when you're tired. That's your job, your dream, your grind, your fire. And I know it's hard. I know what it feels like to be exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically, to want to stay in bed, to stop pushing, to silence the voice inside you that says, keep going. But let me tell you something. Greatness doesn't show up when you're comfortable. It reveals itself in your darkest moments, when you have every reason to stop and still choose to keep going. When you push past the excuses, when you move through fear, through fatigue. You've got to want it more than you want to breathe. That kind of hunger, that kind of fire, it's rare, but it's powerful. And once you tap into it, once you understand that your struggle is not the enemy, but the training ground, then nothing can stop you. Your pain becomes fuel. Your rejection becomes focus. Your discipline becomes identity. And you stop reacting to life. You start creating. People might not understand your grind. They may not understand why you wake up early, why you sacrifice, why you say no to distractions. That's okay. They weren't giving you fire. You were. They weren't handing your vision. You were. So stop expecting them to see what only you can see. This race is yours, your journey, your call. You don't owe anyone an explanation for wanting more, for chasing something bigger, for becoming the person you were meant to be. But remember this, your fire needs fuel. And that fuel doesn't just come from motivation. It comes from commitment, from discipline, from doing the hard things, even when no one is watching, from showing up on the days when everything in you says don't. That's what builds fireproof character. That's how legacies are created. Not with comfort, not with ease, but with consistency, day in and day out. So, whatever dream you're chasing, whatever goal is burning your soul, don't let the world blow it out. Protect it. Work for it. And understand that setbacks are not signs to quit. They are tests. They are meant to reveal how bad you want. They are there to make sure your fire is real. And if you can survive those tests, if you can keep that fire alive through the storms, through the silence, through the struggle, then you're unstoppable. You have something inside you that this world needs. A gift, a purpose, a story. But it will only be written if you keep going. You don't have time to wait for someone to hand you permission. You don't have the luxury of wishing. This is your time to do, to grind, to ride, to light the fire within you so bright. This sets the whole world on fire. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more wondering what could be. This is your moment. This is your life. So take that fire inside of you and fuel it with everything you got. Wake up every day and choose passion over comfort. Choose focus over distraction. Choose growth over fear. The dream is still alive, but only if you are. Fuel your fire. Let it burn so strong that nothing and no one can put it out. Let it be the reason you rise, the reason you grind, the reason you never give up. Because in the end, it's not about who had the easiest road. It's about who refused to let their fire die. Let that be you.